Hello everyone, Pixlriffs here, welcome back to Decidedly Vanilla. It seems like I start every episode of this by coming out of the front door of my house. I don't know what that is. Maybe I'll change it up or something. Anyway, hello. Today I'm going to be building Pixlriffs Design Company. This is something that's kind of been requested by a few people. I have a few people who are interested in hiring me as mainly an interior decorator, I think. I think that's one of the things that people say I do really well is interiors. And so I've decided to set up an agency where people can contact me to commission work, to ask for advice and so forth. And it's going to be right here next to the sugar shack. I'm fairly certain it'll be fine to build in this area, and Jeff has even done me the kindness of marking out where the back wall can be so it doesn't interfere with the mechanism of the sugar shack, because obviously if he needs to come back here and troubleshoot the redstone, he's got a lot of bud switches and stuff in here. I don't want to be making stuff that updates those so they fire and so forth. So I want to be building around this kind of area, and I will see how far that way I can go. But right now I'm going to mark out an area, and then I'm going to get to work in creative and come up with a design, because I have not tried to come up with a design yet. And when you're building a building that is part of a design agency, okay, there's cobblestone there. Not certain if that's part of his mechanism, but I'm going to assume that's kind of the upper boundary of where I can go. So I will make my exit out this way, and I think this is more than enough space to work with, to be perfectly honest with you. I can build upwards if necessary, and I kind of want to. But as I was saying, when you're building a build that's a design agency, you kind of want it to look amazing, right? You want it to be proof that you have the design skills, the know-how, the expertise to be able to pull off whatever it is your customers want. And sorry, I'm collecting a bit of grass here as well. I feel like that's probably a good idea. Not sure if we want to keep the area between this place and the sugar shack as this kind of grassy hill. Might throw in a couple of details there, as long as Jeff is okay with that. Some leaves or something at least would make the place look a little bit nicer, rather than just have this mud wall separate our two buildings. But you never know, maybe he'll sort of advocate for the mud wall still being there, the dirt and grass and so forth. I suppose, I'm not sure if he's one of those guys who uses the Optifine better grass where it kind of wraps over the side, but I think that would probably look quite good next to the green of the sugar shack, so I suppose that's kind of up for debate. But it looks like we've got a bit of room to work with here. I'm going to use this cobblestone to mark out the boundaries of where this is going to be, so I reckon there is probably the boundary we've got going, and I'll start removing some of this grass, and then the furthest back we can build is there, so we're not interfering with Jeff's sugarcane mechanism. And I reckon I want it to come out reasonably far. I'm not necessarily going to work with this entire space. I don't know what the design is going to be yet, but once I've come into creative and had a play around with the dimensions I have available to me, then we can work it out. I think the furthest forward I want it to be is probably around here, because then we'll have an access path down to the town square and so forth. The town square needs a bit more stuff built up around it, I think, and I'm building the Freehaven bistro here as well, so I want to leave a bit of space for that, of course, and this looks like it'll have a pretty decent footprint anyway, so hopefully that should be enough to build like a nice sizable restaurant, because I do want it to be kind of a highlight of the area. Let's set up a boundary marker there, and it looks like we've got a decent amount of space to work with. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we have a 9 by 9 square, which does not look all that square to me right now, but I think that's because I'm looking at it with that huge cliff wall in the way. It kind of looks like it's longer this way than it is that way. It's making me doubt my counting a little bit, but what I will do is I will head into creative. I will come up with a design that fits inside this 9 by 9 square. I might make it 7 by 7 and then add exterior walls around the outside to kind of give it a slightly chunkier feel. Maybe make a too thick wall so it can have a bit more detail in the outside. But I will be back. I will work on the design off camera and might drop into creative mode, show you a little bit of what I've designed on camera, and then we can get to work building it. Okay, welcome to my creative world. You've probably seen a little bit of this stuff before if you've been on my channel for a little while. We have the radio station over here. I kind of built it twice because I was trying to see how much of it I could build from memory. So there is one that is completely undecorated on the inside, more or less. There are a bunch of bats end up in here a lot of the time. And we have... This was kind of a prototype for the ice tunnel that led to the Ice Plains Spikes biome on the old DV server. Here's part of the wall for the Democratic Republic of Mushroom. Here's some other stuff I've been working on, like lighting stuff, and so on. Yeah, and this is the mechanism that was out the front of the of Mount Mushmore in my old base. This was me basically thrashing out my first proper redstone piston door. And that's what was going to go on the inside of it, but I never ended up covering the mechanism in the end because I thought it was okay. Yeah, armor stand display case, you've seen the tutorial for that already. This is a bit of the wall from the Democratic Republic of Mushroom Senate, and this is the Pixlriffs Design Company. It kind of got away from me a little bit. I'm gonna put it right there. It got away from me. I started out with this wall. I kind of built the box and then I went, no, this wall needs to be curved because that kind of opens out onto the square. So I started out with this design, which is obviously kind of a matching thing with my jumper and my banner and everything. I thought that worked really well. And I came up with this, which I'm really pleased with. The gradient kind of goes from brightest to darkest in terms of the colours of the glass, but then it goes from darkest to brightest in the wood, and I think that looks really good. I like the way that turned out. I think blue and birch kind of complement each other very well, and the kind of contrast between the dark oak wood and the white stained glass is really cool. So yeah, really happy with that. Kind of liked this setup with trapdoors in front of the green stained clay. This is going to be right next to the sugar shack, which is made mostly out of green stained clay, so it's kind of neighbouring colours, I suppose. And then I'm using birch leaves because I know when we get back into the extreme hills biome we're in, none of the other leaves are going to be the same kind of colour, and I wanted to keep a colour that was somewhat similar to the green stained clay. I think birch leaves go with them really well. I will explain the upstairs window in a minute, but I really like this detail as well, the kind of glass pane turned sideways in there. I built the front of this later on in the build, just to kind of get started on the second floor, and I thought this kind of arrangement with the cobblestone and the stone brick stairs kind of made it look like a flower, so I wanted to give the flower like a kind of yellow centre, and that's the way I came up with to do it, so I was pretty pleased with that. There are a couple of bits that stick out of the side at the back here. You can see I've done a similar thing to the front with the kind of banner colours. But yeah, these sea lanterns are going to be embedded in the wall either side, so I'm not too worried about those sticking out. If it turns out they're visible, I will find some way to cover them. But for now, let's go in. And first revelation, iron pressure plates put out a much shorter pulse than stone or wood pressure plates, because that is not how quickly a door usually closes. So I kind of like that. I wanted to use something a little bit different anyway, and so it closes really fast when you come in. Anyway, this is the interior. I'm going to kind of open out my field of view a little bit just so you guys can see things better. So yeah, this is the interior. I really like the way acacia looks next to the green stained clay. I think Jeff used acacia doors in his build as well, so that's not me trying to say I designed that, but I just kind of like the way these look. And they are isolated with a redstone torch underneath, which I'm going to break the thing to show you. So when you end up standing on the pressure plate, I'm trying to put the door back, but I can't see where it's going. There we go. On there, like that, so it's facing inwards. When you open them for the first time with the pressure plate, if you close them again, they won't open again. That's kind of what I did with the DV radio build on the last server, and I decided to go with that trick again because it's pretty neat. But door textures are really weird, and they kind of have the hinges on the other side, on the kind of inside of the frame, which is really very odd because it's not there and then it's there, and I don't know, door textures are all over the place. But anyway, this is kind of plain, this sort of area, but I wanted to keep it fairly simple, and I didn't want to kind of cover the floor and stuff because I want people to be able to walk around a little bit. Some armor stands in cases. I didn't put one in here because I couldn't be bothered, but it's going to be another one like that, possibly with some armor on. But the armor sticks out the sides if you have them on a straight on kind of orientation, so I don't know, maybe I will put an armor stand at an angle in there with armor in it to demonstrate that a little better. But this is how people are going to be able to commission me. There's going to be a book and quill in here which you can take out. You can write in it what you want. Dear Pixlriffs, please build me a thing. And then you throw it into this stone slab here, and it goes into a hopper that's underneath there. And if you go down to the basement is going to be where sort of I show off a couple of redstone contraptions and things. I have a couple of plans for it, but because, of course, I built this in a super flat world, it's only got 3 deep blocks of dirt, and I should have built it up a little bit further or changed the preset for the super flat world, but I can't build out the basement because I don't have enough space because there's bedrock and then there's void. So I will probably build out the basement on the server and then show you that when it's done. But for now I just put in like a staff only door so you can retrieve the book and quill, and nobody's going to really want to take a look at that because it's just going to be a bunch of people leaving notes for me. So that's all good. But yeah, redstone contraptions probably in the basement, hence the piston. And I put a piston underneath this armor stand because I think it looks kind of like the base plate is mounted to the floor somehow. Really like that as a detail. I like that a lot. Yeah, like I said, on the outside, we've got the banner colours here, got some sea lanterns in the wall with iron bars across the front. Definitely really good that we have the Guardian farm on the server now because I needed some sea lanterns. I like this big tall window. I kind of think that's cool. It's got red on this side and green on this side, which is kind of why this window here goes from red through orange, yellow, lime green and into green, because I kind of wanted those to blend together quite well. I didn't intend for it to be like rainbow colours, look at all the colours I can put into this build, but like I said, it got away from me. This is a kind of interior showroom, I suppose. There's a couple of things that you've seen me do here before, and there's a couple of things that I kind of invented on the fly. First of which, you've seen the redstone lamp before. I kind of like chain armor on this now. I was going back and forth. I think I used gold in the Democratic Republic of Mushroom Senate, but I like chain armor. It kind of looks like those sort of dangly, like, chain lampshades you get, so I kind of like that. Maybe you could put some stuff on the sides as well, item frames or something like that. I don't know, something to give it a little bit more individuality. This is kind of a neat trick that I found where if you place an item frame on the back of some stairs, because the glass panes don't connect to stairs, you can actually leave them behind a glass pane and it won't knock the item frame off the wall because it doesn't connect in the middle there, and I think that's fantastic. I'm definitely going to use that a bunch more, but I thought it'd be kind of cool to have like a display case in a corner, maybe like precious items. I put a diamond in there just for show. So yeah, I figured that'd be kind of cool. This is a kind of like almost like a bureau. I imagine these would be kind of pull out drawers. Obviously they're signs so you can't really do anything with them, but you could hide a chest under there pretty easily, and you could kind of give the illusion that this is a kind of writing desk or something like that. A blue orchid in there, a couple of shelves above that, nothing too fancy, but yeah, the painting here is actually concealing the door, which is why I put the iron bars there, because I don't want people going, oh, you can get through this painting to the door, and then falling to their deaths outside. I'm thinking safety conscious because I'm bordered on the other side by the Department of Health and Human Services, so I don't really want to be called out for any code violations or anything. Trapdoors on here just as a bit of kind of decoration, something to give the wall a little bit more texture. The hopper and cauldron setup you've seen me use in my house at Freehaven for a kind of sink and a side sink. Also realised you can put stuff in the hopper, so this one's got a bucket of water in there for so you can wash your hands afterwards, I suppose. This chair, I decided to put nether brick, like raw nether brick, on the side in the item frame, and doesn't that look like it could either be the arm of a chair if you kind of look past the item frame, or it's one of those levers on the side of like a reclining chair, so you can like pull it and the chair kind of moves back. Obviously doesn't do that in Minecraft, but we can dream, right? Yeah, kind of like stoppering this off with a daylight sensor. Thought that was kind of a neat idea. I don't know what else I would put up there, maybe some carpet, but that just seemed a little bit too thin. And so I thought that was kind of cool, and I wanted it to not have to touch the ceiling, because the ceiling is almost entirely quartz stairs, and I really love the pattern, the way this came out, kind of again drawing inspiration from my giant stone mushroom I built on the last server. But yeah, that is a bunch of the details that are in this place. I'm really excited to build this on the server, but I'm not going to be able to do it on camera because, man, there is so much stuff in this. There's so many materials, and I'm going to have to go back and forth between creative and survival to make sure I'm doing everything the way it is in here, because I cannot remember building half of this stuff. It just kind of flew past me. But yeah, I'm thinking this is going to be pretty cool. Not sure if I'll do anything else with the roof. It just looks like this kind of flat quartz thing right now, and I'm fairly tempted to leave it that way. But it's a kind of comparable height to the Sugar Shack, I think. I think it's pretty similar, so hopefully people will like this build. Looking forward to putting it in survival, but for now I will leave you guys. I will do a lot of building off camera, and we'll see you back on the Fifth Choice server. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome you back to Freehaven, and here it is in all its glory. The Pixlriffs Design Company building is about to be officially opened. We've got some red ribbon in front of the door, or 2 blocks of red wool. That was about as much as I could do at short notice with all of the stuff that's around the door. But yeah, going to have the grand opening now. There aren't exactly a great deal of people on the server, and I could invite them over to Freehaven to witness the grand opening, but then they'd just be able to stand around and go whee, and that'd be it. But yeah, looking forward to getting this opened up. So without further ado, I now proclaim the Pixlriffs Design Company open, and the build looks really nice in this space. I added a little bit to the roof as well. Those of you who are wondering about the efficacy of this window, let me point out to you, even though it looks like there are massive gaps in here, which was kind of a concern of mine at first, the hitbox for glass panes actually is like a full square. So if you try and shoot arrows through there, you're not going to be able to get them through. Skeletons won't be able to see you, all kinds of that stuff. I'm pretty sure mobs won't even spot you through there, like creepers and stuff, even if they get into Freehaven, which, considering the torch situation around here, they're not gonna. But yeah, this is the Pixlriffs Design Company. It's pretty much as it was. I've got a book up here, which I'll read to you in a second, which will explain the guidelines for submissions. Changed this out for a gold pressure plate because it gave me a slightly longer pulse to get through the door, because I've been going in and out of this door a lot, and the iron one was giving me a bit of a headache. So I don't know if I'll change that back or if I'll leave that as it is. The redstone section down here is going to be down here, but it is not currently operational. The main reason for that is that this has taken me pretty much all day. Like, I've been into town and back in the meantime, but it's now really late in the day. I want to get this video edited and uploaded for you guys, so I will have to work on the rest of this off camera. But there will be a couple of redstone devices down here for demonstration, a couple of which I will have shown off on camera. One of which is going to be the armor stand swapper tutorial I have coming out tomorrow. So look out for that, and you'll get a preview of what's going to be down in the basement, I guess. So yeah, the rest of the place is looking pretty much as it was. Got all of the interior stuff up here, and I've got plenty more ideas. I couldn't squeeze them all into this tiny space. Managed to get the roof sorted out as well, which took probably the longest thing out of the entire build. But anyway, yeah, this is the guideline book. I will take it down off the wall and I will show you guys what you need to leave in the chest. Here we go. Welcome to the Pixlriffs Design Company. We provide advice, custom design, and awesome details for your Minecraft builds. Please turn the page to read the guidelines for commissions. Commission books can be found in the chest below where you found this book. That's this one here. I've got 5 book and quills in here right now because I'm fairly certain there were 5 people had let me know they wanted some work done. But let me know if there are more than that, and I will try and refill this with more books and quills so you guys can ask me to do some stuff. Now, please take one and leave the following information. Number 1, your name. Very important that I know who you are, and you can just sign the book, obviously, and that'll tell me who you are. But if you want to leave the book unsigned and just write everything in it, then I can reuse the book and quill after your commission is done, so that might be preferable. Location of the build. Please give me some coordinates, because I don't know where everybody is situated, especially the CherryPatch guys, because outside of Bear's Watch, I don't really know exactly what direction to go to get to everyone. If you can tell me like a route through the Nether Hub, hit me up on Skype if you know, if you think it's not going to be easily explainable in a Minecraft book, and obviously you can explain how to get to your place. A brief description of the work, e.g. Modern House. I wrote Modern House Interior, but I think that kind of got cut off here. It might show up if you play Minecraft in a different resolution or something, I don't know. But yeah, a brief description of the work would be fantastic, so I know what style we're building in, whether it's interior or exterior, if it's just like the dining hall of some kind of castle you've got going on. It's fine if you don't know and you just want me to come over to your base and see what I can do. Totally fine, but a description would really help. I can also provide advice instead of like actually building stuff myself. So if you would prefer that, if you just want my opinion on some stuff and like want me to show you how to do a little bit of detail work around the place, that's absolutely fine. Fees will vary depending on what the stuff I'm doing is. So that's pretty much all you need to put in the books, but some additional notes for you guys. Work might happen on camera for a YouTube video or a live stream, because I've had a couple of occasions when I can live stream some stuff. Please let me know if you aren't okay with that, because if there's stuff in your base that you want to keep secret, like if it's going to spoil it for other people who might be watching your YouTube channel, your streams or whatever, please let me know, and that's absolutely fine for the work to happen off camera, please. Also, let me know if you use a specific texture pack, because I know a couple of people on the server play with something that isn't like vanilla or faithful, or something that has the same kind of color palette. So if you're using something really wacky like DokuCraft or Sphax or something, then the stuff I'm seeing is not necessarily going to be the stuff you're seeing. So details that look good to me might not look good to you. So we kind of want to come to a compromise on that kind of thing. Once you've completed the book, throw it into the stone slab on your left. It'll be collected by Hopper and placed into the order queue. So if you throw the book onto there, it's just going to disappear, and it'll come down here into the basement where I can access the chest behind this stone brick wall, nice and discreet, because not everyone needs to get into that chest. And yeah, and then I'll do them pretty much in the order that I get them, although, you know, if somebody wants work done by a specific time, then I'm sure we can work something out, but we're going to have to kind of negotiate that off camera, because I know people have like upload schedules and stuff they want to keep sometimes. And we'll agree on a price before work begins. I'm not going to ask for payment until it's done, so I'm not going to ask for your diamonds up front and then leave you hanging for 2 months. Please also don't be afraid to suggest a price, especially like if you haven't got a great deal of resources, because I'm okay for resources. Like, I've got diamond blocks and so forth. Like, I'm only asking a price because for the sake of asking a price, you know, almost like for the role play of it. Like, I don't really need any materials as such, but it's just kind of nice to be paid for the work that I'm doing. So don't feel afraid to leave some kind of commission, even if you don't have a great deal of stuff, because I'm sure we can work something out. I'm happy to do some stuff, especially if it's a cool project. And yeah, there's there's not a huge amount that I need. But then again, if you've got diamonds coming out of your ears, then please feel free to throw a couple my way, especially if it's like a larger project and stuff. So that is pretty much it. That is Pixlriffs Design Company in a nutshell, well, in a book. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting some commissions on the go. Here is the place to go, right next to the Sugar Shack, right outside of the Freehaven portal. You pretty much can't miss the place. I haven't got a sign outside to say that, like, this is my design company, except I think if anybody has been paying attention, the windows out the front are kind of going to give away the fact that it's me, because, you know, just just look at my little arm in the right-hand corner of the frame, and yeah, you'll see where the colours have come from. Anyway, that'll be it for now. Gonna have to work on the redstone basement off camera, but thank you very much for watching this episode. My name has been Pixlriffs. Please leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to doing some work for some of you guys on the server. Please subscribe to this channel if you're not already, because there's going to be some awesome building work going on in the near future. I absolutely know it. Take care, guys, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.